we were pretty much VIP and maybe the Red Dog, and anywhere else we played?
Oh, Tucson a lot.
Tucson. But we felt like we're going to have to, go out of state now, And so we were able to book clubs like in New Mexico, and LA was next on our list. And I don't know I can't remember if the Grateful Dead did a clever thing. This is when Pigpen, keyboard player, was head of the band. What they did is they booked the Aquarius Theater, then they publicized that they were playing there, the Grateful Dead, and they wanted any band to come on down and join in the fun and the action. So what actually happened was the Grateful Dead did their set on Friday night or whenever it was. They packed up, then they had a guy there. Okay, what band are you? The Zebras? Okay, fine. Who are you? The Alligators? Okay, fine. All right, you're on now. And then they just went through all the bands that were sitting there like, this is our big break, like the Spiders were, And we got on, I think it was Sunday night. It was like 4 in. There was hardly, 25 people in the place. So that got us, whet our appetite. I don't know. Masochism, I guess. Anyway, so then from there, we went back to Phoenix, and we could say, just back from Los Angeles, it's just the Spiders, and we could charge more. So we got, light bulb moment, So we did that a couple times.
I remember the first time we went to LA, the very first time from Phoenix. We were spending a weekend, and Dick had gotten some tapes put together and about 10,000 business cards, and he was passing them out at the clubs. Dick talked to somebody.
Are you thinking of Doak, maybe? Doak Roberts?
No, Doak was a little bit later on. This was the very first time. And this kid said, well, you can stay with us. And we had to sleep on the floors and everything, but that was fine because we had no place to stay.
On Fairfax?
I honestly don't know where this kid lived, but during the middle of the night, he would be on talk radio, and he was mentioning that he had a whole bunch of spiders living with him. And the guy was saying, well, you need to get that fumigated quickly. And so I'm going, wow, a place to stay and now publicity? He was going to let us stay the weekend. But somebody went into the refrigerator and ate the iguanas, bananas, and he threw us out the next day. And then we stayed at the park.
Maybe that's how.
I don't know if I don't know which park it was, and then we headed back to Phoenix after a while. For me, it was, well, this is starting to get real, I mean, because I'm used to, we had played in Phoenix, played in Tucson.
We didn't have any gigs.
Yeah, we're going to Albuquerque and playing there. Every dime that the band made went back into the band, and food, unfortunately, was kind down the list.
You weren't getting paid at the time, were you?
Oh, God, no.
We just had to buy gas for the van.
Yeah, and
first thing.
The most money I ever made with the band was when I got in the second car accident, and the guy's insurance paid me $1,500.
What? You didn't split it with
me? No. I kept it all to myself.
Do you remember when we had a gig at the Flying Jib? We're up in Topanga Canyon, and Norma shows up in her Volkswagen, and somebody else was supposed to come, and we're supposed to put all of our gear in her car because the band had just been in an accident. Right? So I don't remember who the other car was, but we got there really late, and the guy goes, you're really late. And he said, yeah, we're just in an accident, lost our van, but we're going to play anyway, you don't have to pay us. But he felt sorry for us, so he gave us some money, and we had a good time, but that's when I remember I made my speech to the band. I got up on remember that was a fire pit outside, or was a fountain?
The Flying Jib, yeah.
No, at our house in Topanga.
Oh, right, yeah.
A circle thing, concrete.
Which was probably outlawed, but...
Guys, I don't know if you realize this, but this is going to be the end of the band if we don't get some transportation, because they both showed up late. How can we book gigs, make it there in time? It's just not going to work. And everybody's scratching their heads, and we're all kind of looking at Vince without directly saying anything, And because anybody's parents maybe could help sign for, and we could pay them back, And nobody said anything, and so I think we all left there kind of bummed out. I think.
But they did sign.
Well, Alice got to talk to
Yeah.
his dad, I guess, in the private moment, you know, and he signed for the van,
Yeah.
and we paid him every cent.
Yeah. Well, let's see. There was
Let's see.
the Topanga. I mean, let's going back. There's Doak's house.
Santa Monica.
Santa Monica, Sherry's house, the Chambers brothers' house. That was scary.
Yeah.
Then Topanga, because after we got run out of,
And to John Law's house, right?
and then Quebec. I mean,
Quebec.
that hotel we stayed at quite a bit.
Oh, the one by the freeway?
Landmark.
Huh?
The landmark.
Oh,
Yeah, the Landmark.
we moved in there?
Yeah, we stayed there a couple of times.
Oh, okay.
And then Quebec House, and then the one by Ivar Street.
Oh, that's where we got evicted.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
and I left after that.
where did we live before the Quebec house?
Landmark,
I got the Watts story.
yeah, the
Oh,
Cheetah, Crenshaw Boulevard.
Crenshaw. So
Chambers
Sherry, when we moved out of Santa Monica, that was it.
Yeah.
And we went back to Phoenix, and when we came back, she was taking us to the new house that she got for us. And we're driving along, oh, Crenshaw Boulevard, sounds familiar. And we're driving down, oh, look, something's on fire over there. Oh, there's another one. And we realized now we're in Watts. 5 long-haired,
Yeah.
six of us, or 7?
8 of us.
Eight of us, just the 8 of us. And we're moving in because the Chambers brothers had a hit record, Time. And they're going to New York to be on the Ed Sullivan Show. So Sherry moved us in there. And there was this black guy that lived upstairs, and he put speakers in every room.
Long Gone Miles.
Long Gone Miles.
The 12 to 4 shift.
His radio show in the house. And it was amazing that we didn't get killed, but when we go to the grocery store, somehow the kids knew. They came rolling in and, oh, take whatever you want to, no problem. And they would fill themselves up and take off, and we didn't make any problem about it. So I guess, and we had that black gentleman living there, and
Some of the mothers who lived down the street kind of adopted us because they knew this was a rough area and we actually shouldn't be here. But their kids would come over and talk to us on the stoop or the steps, and we'd say, "Oh, I think your guys are still the Naz even then." Yeah, and so they're the Naz, and they're friends with the Chambers brothers, and all of a sudden that gave us, oh, Chambers brothers, yeah, they're cool. Yeah, so you got to be cool. And the mother would, one of the mothers would come over to see who her kids were talking to, and make sure that we were okay. And they invited us over for dinner.
oh, wow.
And somebody said, okay, but we'll go if we can play for you. And the band and the people said, sure, nobody in the neighborhood would mind, we'll make it a party. So we went to their house and brought some equipment, and they served, I remember it, they served Italian food. It was great. It was spaghetti and bread and everything. And the Naz went back to the Spiders days and played a lot of I can't.
Ruby Blues.
Yeah, a lot of blues
They
songs
were a
and
blues
stuff.
group.
Yeah,
And
and
Hitchhike.
yeah, that's it. Hitchhike and stuff, and we all got along great.
Kicks
You
on
know,
66, and we did a lot of rhythm and blues, like it was called then, songs. So were we a big hit? Were we a big hit at the
oh
party?
yeah, oh you were, you guys.
Not a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean, and they gave us all the leftover food, which was considerable, and we ate like kings for a week. And then it was April, I'm not sure the date, but the neighbors came over and said, there's going to be some stuff happening in the neighborhood, and perhaps you guys should think about leaving. They weren't threatening us, they were giving us advice.
Advance notice.
And I took that to heart, and I got a paper and found house in Topanga, and okay, we'll go see. And we always stayed at whatever house we found. We didn't quibble about anything. We just, okay, we'll take it. And so we got out, and it wasn't that long that things started happening in that area of town.